Greetings there, fellow HVAC techs. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeer's Brutal Vulcan. Episode 27. First pass at making the base breathable. Alright, let's fill up the jetpack, waste tank, air tank, make the drill, start charging the batteries. So let's do the batteries first, because they're going to be the longest to charge. So we need 3 large batteries. That's not true. There's 1. Actually, 2 large batteries would be fine. There's the other one. So that's going to go into the second drill. I guess I'll do the drill right now, just now I'm thinking about it. And send that trader away. I forget about my jetpack? Thanks. I would have. Done. Alright, speaking of which... Where'd my tablet go? Oh, I put it in my belt. Speaking of which... 700... That's fine. 1.8k. That's fine. It's going to take a while for the new CO2 and the new volatiles to cool down. And then the batteries to fill up. Okay, cool. So the trader opportunity for the drill is done. We just need to fill up the batteries and sell it to him. I am rather low on solder, but that's like super easy to make, so I'm not really worried about that. So 8 more walls. Or... should it be 12 more walls? No, because I have walls on... Yeah, never mind. 8 more walls. And it looks like sundown is happening soon. So I'll finish the solar array and then move on to new projects. I'm excited. Alright, Mr. Big Drill. Battery just hit 100. There you go. We'll put this other large battery in there. Anything I'm missing? So this is for sale. I'll take off my belt just so that I'm selling the one I want to sell. Not that that matters. They're interchangeable, truthfully. Well, bye now. Cosmic clouds. 96 degrees off from contact actually might be kind of difficult to contact them. So I'm going to rotate a little bit, see if I'm rotating the correct direction. I should have just rotated like 2 degrees. Oh my god. So slow. Because, yeah, I mean, I don't mind other trade opportunities. Sounds good to me. And now that it's nighttime, and I'm only choosing nighttime just so it's like... Oh, this is old panel. I'm only choosing nighttime just so it's like... I know it's not as hot inside the enclosures. We'll top these up. Alright, so I have 2 more of the panels to do. Noted. 101 from contact. Yeah, I definitely went the wrong direction. So I'll move it 45 degrees that way. See if that helps. You notice when I pulled my suit, a lot of functions said off? What do you mean by pull suit? Like when I took my suit off? When I open it in the menu, my suit's fine. If it was wrong, I would be dead. Off means if I hit these buttons, they turn off. So they're currently on. Alright, solar array is done. Woohoo! 65 from contact. 95 seconds to... they disappeared. I think that I just found a bug. Because I hit contact while they disappeared, while they timed out, and like, I was burning power to contact them even though there was no one to contact. Something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure what went weird there, but I know it was weird. Hello. If only I could buy bulk nitrogen. That would be nice. But I am not allowed, as per my rules. I wonder... 12 liters. Whew. Oh, well...
Hunger, caution.
It is a lot. So what do you want to buy? You want to buy stuff I couldn't reasonably sell you, so bye-bye. Alright, I'm going to update the priority here. After tending to my water and food needs. How much water do we make? 3.5 liters. And is all the fuel burnt? It is. All the steam processed? It is. Turn that off for now. Volatiles at 26, oxygen at 24, CO2 at 24. Okay, so they've almost equalized. Good. You know, I just realized I haven't actually flushed the water into the system. Apparently the system had enough, well, almost had enough water for me anyway. Doesn't really matter, because, like, that water isn't going anywhere. I'm not lacking any. I'm fine. So all these potatoes seem to have roughly the same rot timers. So it doesn't really matter which ones I cook. In honesty, like, I don't care if all the potatoes rotted, because I have an infinite amount. I grow them. So they can rot. And I just pull new ones out of the farm. At this point, like, food is just not an issue. Okay, so food and water are all done. Next priority. make the base breathable. So what that means is there's a few things in order to make it breathable. So let's talk about the scope of the project. If we want a breathable base, when I take off my suit, I'm obviously converting oxygen in the room to carbon dioxide in the room. But slowly, very slowly. We don't necessarily need to account for my outbreathing. Not really. Eventually down the line, if it becomes an issue, it's easy to fix because all you would really need to do is to set up an intake on your CO2 filter. So hooking up to IC code, or hooking up to logic chips rather, if carbon dioxide levels exceed X, filter out carbon dioxide in the room. It's not a big issue though, because the player doesn't breathe that much oxygen, and the higher the volume in the room, the better. So this is a video game, and the video game only really cares that you have enough oxygen in the atmosphere to breathe. It doesn't care about the other gases as long as they're not toxic to you. So it can't be volatiles because volatiles and oxygen will combust. And it can't be pollutants because pollutants are basically chlorine, and that's toxic. It's like mustard gas. So, ideally, in a perfect world, we would try to simulate a mix of nitrogen, 80% nitrogen, 20% oxygen, or like 79, 20, and 1% carbon dioxide, or like less than 1% carbon dioxide. However, the game doesn't care. So in this case, what I'm going to be doing is a mix of carbon dioxide and oxygen in the room. And my first pass at this is probably going to be a very crude pass at this. And by that I mean I'm just going to shove oxygen in this room until the makeup is roughly 70-30. And that's all I really need to do. Now, a bigger part of this project would be for me to automate carbon dioxide capture, because my farm is regularly using up carbon dioxide and water, and automating the farm means making sure that there's always carbon dioxide available. So what I could do in that instance is have a system like a back pressure regulator or a volume pump, probably a volume pump, that is hooked up to some logic. And I would do the same for volatiles. So a little reminder, Vulcan atmosphere outside is carbon dioxide, volatiles, and pollutant. And the atmosphere is coldest at night. So if we wanted to replenish our volatiles, which is required for making water, and our carbon dioxide, which is required to make oxygen through the farm, the best way to do that is to have like a volume pump set to a very, very, very low volume, which has some logic, which turns on and off depending on how much gas is available within the system. So you would have to take measurements to be like, if it's not more than X pressure, turn on the volume pump. And with some comparator like an and to make sure that the outside temperature is the correct temperature. So the idea is to sip volatiles and carbon dioxide from atmosphere, maybe putting it through an air conditioner first. Maybe not, because we do have a heat sink in the base, and then adding it to the system. That is the bigger scope of the project to make the base breathable, because that means we've automatically replenished. But for the first pass at this, it's going to be crude intentionally. And if you want me to continue refining it, that's fine. But I'm taking crude approaches for stage 1. So there's a few things I want to do first. I do not really have a breathable crew quarter. I mean, technically it's breathable, but I'm not replenishing the oxygen in the crew quarter. So let's fix that. Because this cryotube does absolutely nothing for me, I'm gonna get rid of it for now. because it's completely non-functional. And I don't really need a completely non-functional cryo tube, because it won't heal me until I have liquid nitrogen, and liquid nitrogen is like ridiculously complex to produce on this planet. So I don't mind visiting that sometime in the future, but like it's completely out of scope with what I'm doing right now. I will put this stuff away. I can leave. I'll even clean up the cabling. Oh, you know what? This is completely redundant. Refrigerator is not on because I snipped power. Copy. I can't tell. Oh, is that? I see. I see the issue. Okay, let's run power like this. That was not connected to anything. By the network analyzer, it'd be a little easier to assume, but there we go. Refrigerator's back on. That can turn on. And then that can be hooked back up. So the reason I'm doing this is like, I don't even have pressurized breathable. I mean, it's breathable in here, but it's not like ideal breathable. So I'm fixing my own crew quarter first. And the last stage of that is to hook the aux pipe back up. Also, I have no idea why I was wearing a suit for the entire time I was in there, but whatever. All right, how much oxygen do we have available to us? 400 moles. So, pretty decent amount. We have a ballast tank, or whatever, an access tank here, which has 500 moles in it, and then the can itself has 150. So we have, like, reserved oxygen, so we can't possibly use up all the oxygen that we use to fill our breathing tanks, because I have a whole bunch of it saved here, essentially. As, like, a backup, if you will. So the next stage of this is to just have, like, an active vent hook up to the oxygen to oxygenate this section that I'm in now. And that's easy, because I thought I had an active vent in here already. Do I not? Passive. That's not going to work. It's got to be active. Okay, so let's get an active vent. Elegantly. I have available power close to here. That'll work. Labeling this. This is the base oxygen active vent. I don't know if it needs to be labeled, but might as well. And after splicing some cables into the network, I'll just double check all the air conditioners. Again, this is the very crude. And all that's really important here is that this is outward. And now, the atmosphere of the base is becoming oxygenated. albeit slowly. And at this point, I have no oxygen available to me. The idea is, in order for it to be breathable, it should be close to 100 kPa. And if it's close to 100 kPa, at least 20% oxygen, and that is breathable. So what we need is, functionally, just more oxygen. More oxygen generated by the plants for me to breathe. Because I've used up all the oxygen that I had in reserve. And that increase in oxygen that you see there is a result of the plants making it. I make oxygen pretty decently. But if I want to really oxygenate the entire base, I'm going to need more. Because I only have 9%. But that's the theory. The other thing I could do is set this outward. This is a bit of a risk, but I have had this system for a while, and I hope I never have to use this system, so I'm just going to get rid of it by removing it, because that's another source of oxygen that I can, you know, draw upon. So let's break that down now. Yeah, maybe I jinxed myself. I mean, we'll see. Active event, passive event. There it is. You know what? I'll just leave it as a door. I don't really care. Okay. This could be like a storage area or the cycling airlock. It doesn't really matter. I don't need to work that out right now. All right. With all of that done... Oh, do I have a master pipe for white? I do. Okay. I don't have a master pipe for orange, I just realized. But, I don't need one right now. So in order to make the base breathable, we're at 12% oxygen. And, the question I have for you is, and I think my polling just broke, but, should I actively work to generate more oxygen? Or is this like a process and I should move on? So I'm going to pull you on Twitch because my normal polling is not working right now because it just does that. And there you go. Pulls up. Alright, while you vote on that, I am going to check out some trade opportunities out by the trader. I already had Void Vapor... Right? They already came. Dude, Meteor Munchies. I don't think I'm going to be buying anything from Meteor Munchies, but... we'll see. Whoa! I gotta weld that at some point. I overworked the pole bot? Yeah, it seems like I have. See to keep, thank you for gifting out a sub, by the way. I like how Munchies is like, here, have road flares. You can eat that, right? Well, there's absolutely nothing I'm going to buy from them. Really? You're not going to buy anything from... Okay, goodbye. Good day, sir. I said good day. And I don't have a landing pad or a 7x7 for the Stellar Smelter, so yeah, okay, there's no trade opportunities. That's fine. Alright, so it looks like you guys want me to take on a new project. Now, the problem that I have is... I don't really have a way of pulling all those projects that I had written up. So I'm going to pick for myself. Let's see. What I would like to do is to automate. I actually, you know what? I want to add, now that we have a lot more power available to us, I want to add some, like, proper heads-up displays. So the current priority is add displays for base condition. Who doesn't like a salad of flares? I don't. I don't want to eat flares. You gross. You gross. I would love displays. So the first one I'm going to do is a console for the farm, because the farm is one of the most important parts of our base. And oh my god, I'm almost out of gold and silver. Okay, hold on. I mean, I probably have enough gold and silver for this project, but like, let's just get a little more. Or not gold and silver, gold and copper. Took me a moment to realize I done said it wrong. So, things to track. I would like a heads-up display of, like, the temperature and pressure, maybe gas mix, maybe water in the farm. That would be great. And then I'd also like some information about the atmospheric gases that I have available in the base. There's a lot of potential things to like track, and I want to track probably the most important life-supporting, mission-critical, you know, ones first. Because that way I get a nice little heads up of like, oh, you're running low on X, Y, or Z, you know, and that'd be really, really helpful. Come on, why isn't that... there it goes. I'd be like, why isn't it hotter? I'm combusting gold. It's actually, yeah. It's hot enough for copper, but, like, not for iron. Seeing the black hole behind the base is really awesome? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Is there any new traders to talk to? Nope. And as soon as, like, my actual polling comes back online, I can give you guys the opportunity to have more feedback. I just don't want to rewrite all the polls for Twitch, because it's a big old waste of time. Okay, so how about this? We'll have gas sensors here, or consoles here, to display the status of the farm.
Hydration critical.
Oh. That's not good. Well, we have 3.5 liters of water to play with. Now I got 55 moles of oxygen. Let's go hydrate. I really like this area without the cryotube. Cryotube took up so much room. I would need to make this room bigger to really accommodate that cryotube, because the cryotube was a bulky boy. Oh, if you hadn't noticed, they added a light to the refrigerator. Nice little feature if you're not generating your own light. Not a big deal one way or another, as far as I'm concerned, but it is kind of nice. Alright, back to the setup. So let's go ahead and get a gas sensor in the farm and label it as such. Because I can't really do a lot of this without a gas sensor. So print up a kit sensor. I have lots of cables, so I don't even really worry about that. And I'll just stick the gas sensor here. Oh. Gas sensors can now be painted, but I'm surprised to see the default is white, not yellow. So... greenhouse gas sensor. Is that a different name than this one? Farm... airlock gas sensor. I'll call this farm. Farm gas sensor. Cool. Well, I had... wow, these ferns are growing fast. Let's check up on the water temp. Water temp, water, pressure. Looks good. Room temperature water. Lots of water. The atmosphere in here is thin, so I'm going to push in some fresh CO2. But that's, like... that's one of those things that will get displayed in the displays, so I'll be able to read that more easily in the future. Is the light on while the doors are closed? It's kind of like, you know, Schrodinger's light. I have no idea. How could I possibly know? Alright, so here's our console that we're going to hook up. And for that, we're going to want maybe gas display. So I'll show you what a gas display displays. So we stick in the gas display board. Then we're going to need glass. I'll just use this glass. That'll work. I don't... It's not the most elegant way to hook up power, but this will work. Alright, turn that on. Now, currently it is in setup mode. Or rather in regular mode, but with a screwdriver you can change it. So I want this to display pressure from the farm. Farm gas sensor. And now I can see that the farm is 95 kPa. Farm pressure console. Or actually, I'm just going to call it farm pressure, because it will read out there. All right, let's do another one. So the other thing that we could do in this, if we go back to configure, is we can do farm temperature. And then I can read the farm's temperature too. So let's have both temperature and pressure, because I think both are important metrics to track. And I think in this case, farm air pressure, because I might want to track farm water pressure at some point too. So into the console, call it farm air temperature, put in another gas display. This time I'll actually need glass. And the benefit of this project is it's just going to make keeping an eye on the health of my survival just a little bit easier. So I don't need to run around with a tablet to figure out these things. I can just like look at the wall and be like, oh yeah, we're good. You know, and it will catch... It should help to catch things before they become catastrophic. That's at least the concept. Thank you for tuning in to Stationeer's Brutal Vulcan, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Vulcan survivors.